Welcome to SME TV News and Views. Today our Let's Talk News segment is looking at how an Australian startup called Airservice is giving back a little bit. They're turning their downturn into an upturn for any business that sells any product. Dominic Bressan is CEO of Airservice, which is a leading-edge guest experience platform for the hospitality industry, an industry that has been extremely hard hit at the moment. He joins me today to share some big news. He hasn't actually been watching video games and binge watching Game of Thrones or doing lots of other new things in isolation. He's actually been very busy giving back. Welcome, Dominic.
Hey, how are you? I've been doing those things too.
You have? Okay, for FYI for the record, I kind of tried, but I had to stop a little bit. Look, I'm going to quote you actually straight from your LinkedIn page. So, quote, here we go. Any business needing to pivot to a zero contact method of selling your food and beverage or any other wares, including shampoo from a chemist or cookies from a bakery, my company Airservice will set you up quickly and for free.
Yep.
So that's what you've told everyone out there online. I know a lot of big publications have covered this already, but were you just sitting around one day and said, okay, I've got nothing to do, so let me do something else?
Not quite, very close. It was more a matter of, traditionally we work with the sort of enterprise large customers across contract food service, so large catering companies and the like, and also hotels, resorts, casinos. And obviously, when COVID-19 hit in particular, hotels, resorts, casinos just essentially closed the doors. So we definitely had some extra capacity. And in the past, when I first started Airservice, we actually did do a lot of basic order ahead transaction stuff, mobile ordering for those companies that didn't want to be too reliant on Uber Eats or Deliveroo and that kind of thing, and also wanted to offer click and collect and not just delivery. So we sort of thought, okay, well, a big part of our usual market, including our clients who are using our platform, were like, okay, thanks, we'll speak to you again in a few months. So we thought, well, we have a platform that is growing very quickly in the with our contract food service clients. So this is the only way they can keep their cafes or remote sites or defense sites or mining sites open. We thought, well, we can offer that to anyone. And the platform's built, so the actual cost right now to us is fairly minimal. And then so we thought we'd just open up and do what we can. And then over time, if they like what we're doing, then we can sort of bring them on board with a more complete experience where we can sort of fit in with whatever their needs are.
But apart from doing a great offer for outside of hospitality as well, so anyone that's got anything to sell whatsoever and they want to get the message out there, what you're offering is them being completely independent and autonomous of what has become the bane of most businesses' experience, particularly in food though. We've got Deliveroo, Uber Eats, etc. You know, they're out there saying that they're going to reduce some of those costs, but the reality is that they're still taking a big chunk of what is now an incredible downturn. You're offering a white label product, an app that people can put their own branding on, but not have to worry about reinventing the wheel because it's already there. But some of the organisations that you're working with is shopping centres, for instance, who are going to be able to, offer that for their retailers, and so that customers can order online and have a safe, socially distanced area for them to collect. I think it's an amazing concept.
Thanks. Exactly. So there's a couple of different levels it's working, particularly at the moment. One of which is that, yes, there is definitely a backlash against your sort of marketplace solutions, whether it's Uber Eats, Deliveroo, or whatever brand you choose to talk about. And yet with regard to pricing or with regard to some behaviours where I've heard there were some articles the other day I saw where venues had decided they didn't want to accept orders from a particular provider anymore, so that provider marked them as closed on the website and the like. So just wanting to move away from that. Then, as you said, also moving away just from F&B. So they're all very food and beverage and hospitality focused sectors. Right. And that's where traditionally you order ahead with your apps or your click and collect has been quite successful. But where in the world now, everyone is looking to minimise that physical contact, looking to minimise handling of cash. So it could be a pharmacy, it could be a bottle shop, could be a hardware store, sort of across the board. And what we're offering for free is a a profile in an app which we're called Service Redefined, which we've just put up on the App Store. Anyone can download, access, and order and pay through that from whatever venue would like to join us. If any of those venues love our platform and like what we're doing, then we can provide them with their own branded solution with a lot of the additional functionality that the platform has. And that's where we'd sort of look at moving them potentially, if they wanted to, purely optional, onto a paid platform.
But the offer of free upfront for, I think, about 3 months. So you're looking at offering it till the end of financial year or over that?
Yeah, end of July, start of August. We're trying to put in place a fair play policy. We're sort of sticking within line with what government guidance seems to be.
Right. But those social distancing rules will be applying for a little bit longer than that, even when the industries that are feeling it the most now, which is clubs, pubs, and some of the hospitality. But, there's clearly a play there. A lot of those businesses have already pivoted and you've encouraged, you're saying to businesses, if you're trying to pivot and work out how to get customers, keep customers, here's an application that could assist you in still selling something and without having to investigate building something right now, because no one's got the time or the inclination to do a big tech overall. But we'll get to that because that's what you do. You're looking at people can join up, set up their online ordering facility, put their stock on there or what they want to sell. It's a contactless payment option, which again is, really popular in the social distancing world. So we don't want to take cash because we don't want to touch that anymore either. And also the way that they can collect it, or the venues or the businesses can also choose to deliver, but it's all within their control again.
Exactly right. It's a very fast, easy way for someone. A lot of businesses are like, geez, I have to do this now. They can sign up for us for free. We'll get them up and running typically within 48 hours.
Right.
See how it goes. If they find after this period that they want to transition back to a more traditional model, fantastic. I'm glad we've been able to help. If they find after this period that it's successful and they want to expand it and take it further, we'd love to help with that as well.
Was this ever part of your business plan? No. Was this something you were, okay. So you're doing what you're encouraging others to do, which is slightly pivot and see if you can already use what you've got and repurpose it in something else.
Exactly. So, as I said, when we very first started, we were working with a bit more of the SME market, and then we just got drawn over time working more at the enterprise end of town. And we've certainly never done anything of this nature. We're just essentially giving away for free and saying, look, how can we help?
So I'm going to sort of sidestep a little bit here. You've been immersed in the startup world for quite some time. You've been a CEO of multiple different startups. You've got quite a varied background behind that, colourful, I will say. You did law initially but didn't practice, or?
No, yeah, I did law. I did practice for 3 or 4 years as well. And my family's been in hospital. It's a weird mix. I've always loved technology. So I've always sort of played with tech and that kind of thing. And then my family's always been in hospitality. So even when I was practicing law, I was sort of involved with the hospitality side of the business. And then one of my best friends and I at the time were just playing around with a few technology ideas and thought we could start about 5 businesses at once, and turned out that's probably 4 too many. And then
bane of most startups' existence. Let's do this, and this. Yes,
exactly. But Air Service was sort of always the baby that just kept bubbling to the top again. And there was one other one, a study technology, education technology piece, which we sort of built and sold in a weekend, and gave us a horribly unrealistic idea of how easy it was to build and exit something. But
it had beginner's luck, and then you wanted to translate that into, it happens to the best of us, I promise you. It doesn't get easier with age though, Dominic. So you've had that background. You've been a CEO of multiple startups. Just sharing now, because there's lots of other business owners that are listening, and apart from being immersed in the COVID-19 drama, and that will end, we're also probably thinking about what else we're going to do as part of our normal approach to business plans. We're used to always plan 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, and now we're kind of told to hibernate, if you will. So you're looking forward now. This crisis will eventually ease. You'll go back into the air service model where you were looking at the enterprise model, in particular to servicing the big hotels. You're expanding globally, so that's all part of the plan. How do you see, though, startups? Do you think they will be affected by the downturn, if you will? Do you think there'll be less capital out there for raising? Do you think good ideas will always have a place, but it will be harder?
All of the above. I think good ideas will always have a place. I do think it will be harder. I think everyone's tightened their belts across the board. No one's wanting to spend. But I also, to be honest, I also think that I think what we're going through now, COVID-19, will fundamentally change some significant portions of our life going forward. People are used to living at home and working at home, and employers have been forced to see how successful that can be. There's a whole range of different areas where it just makes sense, and companies and people have been forced into adopting the future in some ways. There are definitely some others where I do think here in Australia, we've done an amazing job of dealing. My brother lives in LA and we have an office there as well. And compared with what's happening over in the US, for example, I really think our recovery is probably tending to be more V-shaped than U-shaped. So our plan at the moment is in 6-month blocks. So we're doing another 3 months where I think it's going to be very, very more of the same, essentially. But I think after
I agree.
We're going to start opening up again fairly quickly. I think our international borders will stay closed, but within Australia, I think we'll get back to a semblance of normal life fairly quickly after that. So yes, we will absolutely go back or keep, when the hotels open up again. But this is a good sector of the market that I definitely won't be stopping supporting as other sectors. And I do think a lot of these businesses will see how successful this has been. They've been forced to take this step, and they'll, because it's cost effective, it works well, and even particularly restaurants who will allow people to have dine in again. They will probably have to allow half as many diners, for example. So then you just
if they phase us, yes, they will be phasing us in. Although we are our own worst enemies. We can't police ourselves on the beach. We can't police ourselves on footpaths. If as soon as we get a whiff of a restaurant or a bar opening, I have a funny feeling that we're all going to be rushing to get our first piece of social norm again. It's an interesting time for businesses, in particular for small businesses who don't have that financial padding and that extra meat on the bone to lose quite a big chunk of their financial safety net, if you will. So ideally being able to explore other opportunities like your app that you're providing this platform where they can get involved very quickly, and they need to do everything very quickly now. They don't have time to beta test anything for themselves. Yeah. So you're good to go. It's easy for them. I guess what I loved the most was you're kind of, to be honest, you're kind of using this as a marketing exercise. It's good timing. You're giving people the option to use it for free and see if it can bring some good as well, which is lovely. You probably would be offering your platform for free for a limited amount of time anyway, signing on, but unlikely that so many of us would be aware of it like now, because this is big news now.
It is, but it's interesting because we used to be, for example, we used to be a hell of a lot cheaper than we were. And what we honestly find was that people don't value what they don't pay for a lot of the time, unless you're a necessity. So good lesson for many startups out there. Absolutely. We'd have, you don't really have traction until someone's paying for what you're doing if you're selling a product. So we definitely found that, this model is one we'll stick with, but it won't be the key for what we're doing going forward. That's for sure.
Right. So the app is called what? Where do they go? They go to the App Store to find it.
Yeah. So the app is called Service Redefined in the App Store. The information is at airservice.com. So if you go to airservice.com, we've sort of updated our landing page. So there's information, general. If you want to sign up, there's a sign up form there. You do that, my team will reach out within 24 hours and we can have you up and running within 48.
We're going to have all of those links below. They would have already have come up by now. So we'll have all those available. We'll add those in our own show notes and our own commentary, make sure. And plus we'll get behind that as well, because I want lots of SMEs out there to know that there is an application where products that they probably thought they didn't have another way of selling. And it's not just local geographically, it would be right across Australia.
Right across Australia.
There's no limit here.
No, click and collect or home delivery. And that can be delivered with your drivers, or we have integrations with a couple of service providers who can do the delivery drivers there as well.
Okay, so they've got options. They can be completely independent. They can give a little bit of the business to some other people as well with deliveries, or customers themselves can go and pick it up when they've already done their order and they've already paid, which everybody is looking for that convenience, although these days we don't mind taking a little bit longer to go out and get something in case we see a human being for 10 minutes or even closer to. Thank you very much, Dominic, for joining us today. It's airservice.com for all of you to jump on there, see the sign-up page. Dominic's people will get back to you. Sell your product, because that's what we need right now. We're encouraging SMEs to keep moving their product, keep their businesses open as much as they can, employ people as much as they can, because it's not just riding a bike business. You need to still be in it to keep moving forward. And I'm sure we'll be talking to you again. Thanks very much, Dominic.
Thank you.
Thanks.